What if the woman who swore she was done with you suddenly comes back as if nothing ever happened? Picture this. One moment she's pulling away, telling you it's over, acting cold and distant, and just when you've started to move on, she reappears in your life. A text out of nowhere, a random call, a subtle, "I was just thinking about you." Feels confusing, almost like a game. But here's the truth. Women rarely leave and return for the reasons men assume. And that's exactly what we're about to uncover today. Most guys believe when a woman walks away, it's because she's lost all attraction or found someone else. They see her exit as a permanent goodbye. But women don't operate on a straight line. Their emotions are unpredictable, and attraction isn't always logical. One day she convinces herself she's done, and the next, she feels pulled right back toward the same man she thought she left behind. This is where men get blindsided because her return isn't random. It's emotional, it's psychological, and it always carries a hidden motive. Think about it. Why would someone leave, claim they've moved on, yet still keep checking if you're around? Why do women circle back even after ghosting or after dramatic exits? Sometimes it's nostalgia, sometimes it's ego, and other times it's a test of your strength. But here's the catch. You can't afford to mistake her return for unconditional love. In this video, we're breaking down the real reasons why women come back after they leave you, the emotional roller coaster, the return triggers, and the secret tests most men fail without even realizing it. Stay with me until the end, because once you understand this, you'll never look at a woman's pullback the same way again. And here's the twist. You might discover that her return says less about her and more about you. When a woman pulls away, it often feels like the end. Her texts slow down, her calls stop, and the energy between you shifts so quickly it leaves you wondering what you did wrong. Most men panic at this stage. They replay every conversation, every move, every detail, trying to figure out the mistake. But here's the reality. Her decision to step back isn't always about you. It's usually about the emotions she's wrestling with on the inside. Women live in a world of feelings, and those feelings don't move in straight lines. They swing like a pendulum. One day she feels connected, the next she feels uncertain, and those swings are what create confusion for men. This is where the emotional roller coaster begins. A woman may convince herself that leaving will give her clarity, that space will help her breathe, or that she might find something better elsewhere. But here's the twist. Emotions don't disappear just because she pulled away. They linger. That spark she once felt for you doesn't vanish overnight. And when the silence starts to settle in, she can't help but think back to the moments when she was drawn to you. The late-night talks, the way you made her laugh, the comfort she felt in your presence. Those memories creep back in, and suddenly, she feels conflicted. For men, this back and forth feels like chaos. You're left standing there, unsure if she's gone for good or if she'll suddenly reappear. And more often than not, she does reappear. But here's where it gets interesting. Her return isn't always because she wants to rebuild what was lost. Sometimes she comes back to test you, to see if the door is still open, to check if she still has power over your emotions. Other times, it's pure curiosity. Has he moved on? Is he doing better without me? Does he still want me? These unspoken questions drive her actions more than most men realize. This is why so many guys get caught in a loop. She leaves, you assume it's final, but then she shows up again, and you think it means she's changed her mind. But what if her return isn't about love at all? What if it's about ego, nostalgia, or her need for reassurance? The problem is, when you don't understand the psychology behind it, you fall straight into the trap. You welcome her back instantly, believing the story you want to believe, instead of seeing the truth that's playing out right in front of you. And here's the suspense. The reasons women come back are rarely simple. They're layered, emotional, and often hidden beneath actions that seem casual. A simple "hey" text might look harmless, but what triggered it could change everything. The real conflict begins when she steps back into your life as if nothing happened. For you, It feels like a second chance, but underneath the surface lies a game of emotions, power, and unspoken questions. She might say she just wanted to check on you, but the truth is, she's testing your reaction. Do you drop everything the moment she appears? Do you make her feel like she's still the center of your world? Or do you show her that you've grown stronger in her absence? This tension creates a silent battle, one that most men don't even realize they're fighting. From her side, the pull to return isn't always about missing you. It's about curiosity, control, or even disappointment in what she found elsewhere. Maybe she chased excitement with someone new, only to realize that spark was temporary. Maybe she thought she'd feel free after leaving, but the silence weighed heavier than she expected. And so she comes back, not with answers, but with unresolved feelings that only complicate the situation further. For you, this creates a dangerous crossroad. Part of you still remembers the good times, the passion, the connection. Another part of you remembers the pain of her leaving. And when those two sides collide, you're left questioning what's real. Is she here because she values you, or because she wants to know if you still value her? That uncertainty is what keeps men stuck, replaying every signal, trying to decode what it all means. The suspense builds here because nothing is clear. Her smile, her sudden warmth, the way she acts like no time has passed. All of it draws you in, but the questions remain unanswered. Why now? Why return? And more importantly, what does she truly want this time? The tension reaches its peak when she begins weaving herself back into your life, little by little. At first, it's subtle. A casual text, a random memory she brings up, or an innocent call late at night. But soon, her presence becomes undeniable, almost like she never left. And here's where the real pressure begins. Every word you say, every move you make feels like part of a silent test. She's watching closely, not just what you say to her, but how you carry yourself now. Are you the same man who begged for her attention when she pulled away? Or have you become someone she can no longer control? Inside, you feel the pull of two different worlds. On one side, there's the comfort of her return, the spark you thought you had lost. On the other, there's the fear that this is just another cycle, another round of the emotional roller coaster. The conflict becomes heavier because the lines between love, ego, and power blur more with every interaction. She laughs at your jokes again. She leans in closer. She makes it seem like she wants to rebuild, but deep down you can't shake the question. Does she want you, or just the validation of knowing she still can have you? The suspense builds with every encounter. Her smile feels familiar, but her silence carries weight. The late-night messages keep you awake, not because of what she says, but because of what she leaves unsaid. Each unanswered question lingers. Each moment feels like it's leading to something bigger. And just when you think you're about to understand her true intentions, she gives you another mixed signal, another reason to doubt. The air is thick with uncertainty, and you know the climax is close, but the outcome is anything but clear. Just when you start to think you've figured out her intentions, another twist enters the story. Out of nowhere, she disappears again. One day she's laughing with you, sending messages late at night, reminding you of the past connection, and then suddenly, silence. No reply, no call, no explanation. It feels like a storm that passed just as quickly as it came. This is where the conflict deepens, because now you're caught in a web of uncertainty that's even more powerful than before. The question isn't just why did she come back? It's why did she leave again so suddenly? This push and pull escalates the emotional roller coaster. Her reappearance had stirred up old feelings, but this second withdrawal forces you to confront a harsher reality. Maybe she was never truly back for love in the first place. Maybe she wanted to see if she still had control, if she could still reach into your life and affect your emotions. And now, by pulling away again, she's testing you at an even deeper level. Will you chase her this time? Will you crumble under the pressure? Or will you remain steady, proving that you've grown beyond the man she once knew. The stakes rise higher because the mixed signals are no longer just confusing, they're consuming. Friends notice your distraction, your focus begins to waver, and you find yourself replaying every conversation, every glance, every moment, searching for answers that never come. The return and second pullback create a cycle that feels endless, a game where the rules keep changing, and you're left wondering if you've been playing on her terms all along. And here's where the suspense tightens even more. Just when you convince yourself it's really over this time, she reappears again, this time bolder, more certain, as if she knows the exact effect she's having on you. She might show up where you least expect it, send a message that feels too personal to ignore, or casually mention she's been thinking about the future. Her presence hits harder now, because it carries the weight of both absence and return. And yet, the same question remains unanswered. Does she truly want you back? Or is this just another test of your strength? Another move in a game you didn't sign up to play? The conflict is no longer just about her actions. It's about how much longer you can withstand the storm without breaking. The moment of truth finally comes when you stop looking for signs in her words and start paying attention to your own actions. After all the back and forth, the emotional roller coaster, the sudden exits and returns, you realize the real conflict was never about her. It was about you. Women come back after pulling away for many reasons. Nostalgia, ego, curiosity, or because the emotions they once felt never fully disappeared. But what matters most is not why she comes back. It's how you respond when she does. That's the point where the power shifts. When you no longer rush to prove yourself or drop everything at her return, you take control of the story. Instead of letting her emotional swings dictate your life, you begin to stand steady. You show her through your actions that your value doesn't rise or fall depending on whether she's there or not. And that's exactly what makes you different from the man she left behind. She sees a man who has grown, who no longer chases, and who knows his worth. Sometimes this strength draws her closer than ever before. Other times, it pushes her to finally step away for good. But either way, you win. Because now, her presence or absence doesn't control your emotions the way it once did. You understand that attraction isn't always logical, that emotions rise and fall, and that her decision to leave or return is just part of her cycle. What defines the outcome is your ability to stay grounded. The key takeaway is simple. When a woman comes back after leaving, it isn't always a sign of love. It's often a test. A test of your confidence, your boundaries, and your ability to hold your ground. If you pass that test, you gain respect. If you fail, the cycle repeats until you learn the lesson. So the next time she pulls away, don't panic. And if she returns, don't lose yourself in the moment. Focus on being the man who leads his own life, who doesn't bend under emotional pressure, and who knows his worth regardless of who stays or who leaves. Because in the end, that's the man she can't let go of. The man who doesn't just survive the storm, but stands tall through it. And that is why women often come back, but more importantly, why you'll never see it the same way again.